Welcome back, everybody. We're going into the second match of the playoffs. We just saw Gerald win against Optimus, and next up it is Fmtc versus Ziggy. We're all ready to do the vetoes with the admin, so admin, take it away as the audience is keeping an eye out for the vetoes. I'm gonna narrate this, so you guys go ahead. There's gonna be a coin flip first, just like before. Oh, you did the coin flip already? We didn't get to see the coin flip. You already did the coin flip. Oh, okay. All right, I'm gonna go. So Neon Violet was vetoed. Now Battle of the Boardwalk. Abyssal Reef is Fmtc's second and last veto, and Ziggy vetoes. What's that? Catalysts. All right, so only 3 maps remaining. Fmtc picked Ascension to Ire as the first map of their series. Odyssey is going to be the second one. So it's Ascension to Ire, Odyssey, and Black Pink as the sequence. Okay, right, players. Take your seats. There we go. All right, everybody in the audience, are you ready for the second playoff match? Woo! Who are you? Yeah. Who are you cheering for? They're all cheering for Hearthstone, but he's not in this match. So, all right. Fmtc, is he your favorite? Is it Ziggy? Do you have a favorite? Do you know what StarCraft is? That's gotta be really cool. All right, guys. Take it away, casters. I think we got a new pair of casters all ready to cast. Yes. All right. Have fun watching, guys. We'll be back for the semifinals after this upcoming match.
Wait, a new pair?
We got a new pair.
Are you new as well?
I'm fresh. I haven't been here in a while. Anyway, my name is Loco. I'm joined here together with none other than the man, the myth. No, I already said that, didn't I? Delandros, how are you doing, sir? How are you liking the tournament?
I'm loving it so far, man. I honestly, some unexpected, some pretty expected results, but also it's been a nice mix, I think.
Yeah.
A mix of like a good amount of consistency at the same time. Also, some upsets, like Risky not going through is kind of a big upset, of course. Fmtc, we're going to be seeing very soon, obviously taking his place. And then, I mean, Gerald just beating Optimus was also a pretty big upset as well, I think, right?
Yeah, so like you mentioned, one of the players we're actually going to cast in just a second actually managed to defeat Hearthstone earlier.
Yes.
Now, Hearthstone still advanced first in his group, so he's still in the semifinals here no matter what. But I think that definitely was a bit of an upset. Apparently, Hearthstone mentioned that he is struggling a little bit in the matchup, so it kind of depends on how things went there. I sadly did not get to watch those games personally. Did you manage to catch any of those?
No, we didn't. I mean, I think I was casting.
Yeah, we actually probably casting together, right? Now I'm just wondering. But Fmtc definitely showing us that he's a strong player.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yep. And I mean, obviously, he is on Team MCon, right?
Right.
Officially now MCon, not Mouse Control, apparently. And they obviously have a couple of Zergs on their team, a couple of the only Zergs that actually exist in the Dutch competitive scene. The Dutch competitive scene is kind of low on Zergs.
I mean, we have you.
I know, and you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what do you mean? What do you mean? Like,
no, but like,
what are you trying to say here?
So players are actively competing and being in teams, and Ryquiz is one of them as well. He's not. He's here as well. He's not playing in the tournament, but apparently they've been talking over some stuff as well. So it really, really does still help, right?
Yeah,
Having
exactly.
that teammate support. They together they were able to band together and beat, I mean, Hearthstone, right? Like
exactly.
That's kind of a.
Apparently they did a good enough job. Now the next game that we're about to be casting is going to be Fmtc versus Ziggy. The winner of that one will be moving on to the semifinals here of the DSCL. Of course, the tournament will be concluded here as well today. So all you need to do is just stick around.
I mean,
that's about everything you need to do. You just
not
need
very
to
hard,
sit.
right?
Yeah, you just need to put your feet up. Maybe get a beer. If you don't drink, maybe, anything else. Green tea. Anything.
Green tea is pretty good.
It's pretty good. Yeah, exactly. And just
okay, wait. Do you? This is a little.
This is an important question. I feel like this is an important question. I'm going to prepare for this.
Do you like milk in your tea? Because a lot of British guys do that. I'm like,
I know.
That is soda. That's not tea.
I mean, there's like this point where a lot of people even like warm up their milk, where it's like 80% milk and a little bit of water, and then they hang it to. It's still pretty tasty.
I mean,
it's still tasty.
It's not tea, though.
I mean, you're trying to make the definition of tea be all about the water.
Yeah. It's hot water with a tea bag in it.
How much of milk is, technically speaking, water? Probably like 98%.
98% of milk is water, so I'm
I
buying
wouldn't be
98% water?
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm sure someone in the Twitch chat can figure it out. But anyway, no, I'm definitely going to have to agree with you on that one.
But do you like milk and tea?
Sure. I mean, I wouldn't personally pick it.
Yeah, okay, but you don't mind it. Okay.
No, I don't mind it. Anyway, I hear the beeps. I know you've been liking the beeps as well earlier today.
Beep.
Nice, beautiful.
Yeah, the beeps are really, really good.
That does mean that we're going to be jumping into the very first game of this next best of 3 series. We're opening up on Ascension to Ire Alley. Definitely one of my personal favorite maps.
Not TE?
No, we don't. Well, so for those of you unfamiliar, LE stands for Ladder Edition.
Yeah.
I, for the longest time, thought it stood for like Last Edit. For some reason,
me
I
too.
thought that was like a thing. But it actually stands for Ladder Edition because back in the day we had a TE version of the map as well. That would essentially, be the
for
tournament
MLGs and
edition.
stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Before we go to their screens, in the top left corner, on Ascension to Ire. The blue Terran player, it's Ziggy, hailing from Poland.
Oh, he's focused. He's ready to go. I saw him wearing his band shirt earlier, if I'm not mistaken, as well. And his opponent, spawning in the cross position in the bottom right-hand corner of Ascension to Ire, playing with the red Zerg drones. We have Fmtc.
And also the Overwatch logo, right?
Dude, so I actually legitimately wanted to set up that joke, right? Not actually thinking that they made that logo before Overwatch came out. Oh well, I was put in my place. I was trying to set up the perfect joke there for Wayman, and
There are more than one MConners in here, so I tread like
okay.
lightly.
I'm gonna like put on a hat before I leave later today. Put on a jacket so nobody recognizes me.
I'm sure. There's actually a lot of MCon people here, but also a lot of people from Asteria and Esports.
Yeah.
Arsenal's team. Saw a couple people with team shirts, and then just good Dutch representation overall.
There's actually a lot of Dutch people at the Dutch StarCraft League. Did you know that? Wild.
Mental.
Mental. Nobody would have ever expected that.
Yeah.
Well, by the way, for those of you unfamiliar, we're here at the Esports Game Arena. Let me phrase that correctly. We're in the middle of Alphen aan de Rijn. Now, for those of you not in the Netherlands, you may not know that city, but it's a rather big city in the Netherlands, in the southern part of Holland, and it's actually really cool. They recently opened up. There's all kinds of gaming happening right here, live from the venue. We are obviously playing StarCraft, but there's a lot of other nerds here as well, playing video games and just simply hanging out, having a beer, watching some of the esports happening.
Yeah, they were playing Heroes of the Storm over there, and I saw some people playing Overwatch. A lot of cool stuff happening. You can just chill out here, get a drink, play some games,
Exactly.
or watch some StarCraft on the big beamers everywhere.
So I've got confirmation that cow milk contains roughly 87% water.
87. That's not 98 though. Wait, I was talking about soy milk.
Oh, no. Okay, I see. You're trying to struggle out of this one. Okay. Alrighty. So let's talk a little bit about the game. Now, the reason why we haven't been talking about the game so much is because we see standard openers right here from both players. Quick factory right here for the Terran. He's going to be able to switch that around if he wants to, but he can always dart double producing Marines as well. I've seen a lot of 1-1-1 play recently. A lot of barracks factory, and then also, of course, a single star port play. Almost wanted to say Stargate there, but star port play.
Close, but not quite the same units. Not quite as strong. No, but yeah, we see speeds finishing up for Fmtc at roughly the standard timing as well. I mean, he's just getting a third. Like, there's nothing that you can really. There's one thing actually. Some people like to get overload speed, some people don't. Fmtc clearly does. It's just a preference thing. You sacrifice a little bit of economy for a little bit more security because you know exactly what your opponent's doing. You don't have to do any guesswork, which is exactly why he's doing it. Obviously, he wants to play safe against someone who's really good. Like, what?
That first tumor is crucial. You cannot lose that tumor. That's the one that connects the natural to the third base, and he actually purposefully got it this early and actually delayed a whole lot of that economy through the larva just to get that tumor out. And Ziggy actually almost got it. Yeah, that's actually a big deal. Apparently, this is a cute little move. Look at that. He's actually killing the larva. That doesn't happen very often.
Doesn't. And actually, it harms his. It's probably the best way he can harm Fmtc right now, right?
It still deals splash damage to the hatchery as well, which is kind of cool. We do see apparently a drop now coming in as well from the other side of the map from Ziggy. Now the Zerglings here will be able to shoot these units away, but I wonder what is in that medevac. Or rather, what is in that medevac that's currently moving across? Apparently it's 6 Marines and then also a single Widow Mine.
Yep, I mean, that's just some standard 1-1-1 play, right? That's what you see more and more often now. With that medevac, as soon as it comes out, it boosts, gets a Widow Mine and a handful of Marines. and it just tries to do a little bit of damage. There's a Spore Crawler going up in the main node. There's already one in the third, and I think there's going to be one in the natural as well. I'm not exactly sure, but Bailing Nest about to finish up for FMTC just in the nick of time. Lings are not really in position, though, and there's only one queen there.
He should be alright, even if he sees this a little bit later than he ideally wants to. Either way, though, I think that he is going to be forced to defend here, and the Zerglings will indeed run forward. They're going to be able to split off and actually deal a lot of damage, and actually the medevac ends up dying. That's a massive... Wow, all of the Zerg players in the audience are cheering. I like it.
Wait, do you mean Dutch players?
No, I mean the Zerg players.
No, that was so... everything went wrong there for Ziggy. Like, that Widowmine was not meant to explode. I thought it wasn't going to, but then it did on the Ling that had already died. So the Widowmine was useless. And then he lost the medevac after that.
Hold that thought, though, because currently Hellions are moving into that third base location here. They're going to try and roast some of the drones. No Bailings available just yet. Queens were still in the main base as well. So far, only 3 of them end up dying, but there is still that Liberator right now as well. And we also see the addition right now of those Hellbats.
Yeah, and these Queens are going to... yeah, if they were to stay in that radius, I think it was the death zone that Euthermal called it. That was pretty dangerous if they were to stay there. But the Queens are now circling around there. Lings, Banes as well. The Banes need to connect to these Hellbats, or their Lings are going to be absolutely useless. Liberator does go down. That does grant, ironically, the Queens a little bit more liberty in where they want to go. And there are 3 more Queens and a bunch of Lings on the way. Plus 1 missile attack, actually, for the Zerg player.
Yeah, so he's planning to switch towards that Hydra style in just a little bit more than likely. It is also going to help out these Queens quite a bit. And while the players are trading back and forth here for a little while, no critical amounts of damage was done just yet. And we do not see that massive amount of mech army coming down here. Hellions once again threatening to go for the run by. This time around, they may actually be heading towards the natural. Although apparently they're just going to snipe some tumors here and there. And also join a bit of a Zergling barbecue, but a whole lot of them get surrounded.
That was I think that was a pretty good trade
Where
for
are the Queens?
FMTC. And the Queens are all over the place, but not together. Drones are actually... Oh, I thought the drones were going to catch that Hellion for a second there. Not too bad. 4 more drones have gone down. Could have been a lot worse. And actually, a couple of those were... 4 of those were due to Liberator. So it's going to now fly to the third. Liberators are just annoying. And it's not like, in general, in these types of games, like high-level players, I'm not going to do tremendous amounts of damage. It's just annoying to deal with.
That's kind of the play style that Ziggy is trying to play here, right? He's just trying to be a bit of a jerk to his opponent. He's trying to attack at several different angles at once. He's trying to harass to the best of his ability, and so far, could we have a quick look at how many workers have died this game? I think that would be awesome, because if we could know how many drones ended up dying here to all of this harassment, we would be able... Oh, well, Control plus R, if I'm not mistaken. Regardless, though.
Almost, yeah.
There we go. We see 9 workers going down there in total. So Ziggy did manage to get a little bit of value there. Obviously, he lost a lot of his units as well. Banshees are now flying across the map, but we already see things loaded into that Overlord.
Those Queens?
He's loading Queens. And this is something that we have seen a little bit against Tech Lab-based openers. Hydras, Queens, and Zerglings can deal a huge amount of damage. It's almost like, it almost makes me think back of like the Terran versus, or the Zerg versus Protoss matchup rather, where Protosses are just simply having to deal with a lot of those units. Now, just barely manages to snatch those right before Cloak finishes.
Yeah, but it seems like the bench is going to fly into the safe zone, so the Hydra's not going to chase it. At the same time, though, Hellion run by going into the natural. Hydras have to catch it, though. These Hellions are not going to be able to do anything. Actually, they were a move command for the longest time. Nothing happened there. The Overlord drops are now moving across the map, as are the Banshees towards the third, so there's going to be a little bit of harassment from both sides here. We're going to see who comes out on top in just a moment.
3 siege tanks coming out right now all at once. I think they actually may just simply be used for creep spreading. This is something that is completely underutilized right now in the multiplayer version of StarCraft 2. He's dropping down creep and then putting down a tumor in the middle of that creep. This is going to slow down the push of his opponent quite significantly, and if he wants to be aggressive himself, he can deal a lot of damage. Siege tanks, however, already ready here to start dealing the damage here as well. The Queens, however, are keeping each other alive for so very long, transfusing each other so rapidly, and all of a sudden the Zerg may very well be overwhelming Terran.
This is a phenomenal play. Those Queens tanked so many shots, and this is
my God.
what it looks like. FMTC just ravaged this army. Ziggy taps out, and that's game number 1 for the Zerg player. This Dutch crowd is amazing right now for FMTC.
Look at him. Look at him. He's smiling. He knows that that is a build he's practiced and finally got to put to use.
That's a cheeky smile as well.
So here's the thing. Queens are super tanky. Queens are capable of taking those shots if you transfuse them well, right?
Yeah.
Hydras and Lings die in just a matter of hits, but the Queens can take quite a couple with those transfuses saved up. And of course, you know, I always kind of compare Hydras and Lynx to like playing an RPG character and specking all of your points in damage. You've got like no survivability, but they deal so much damage if you are very careful with them. And I mean, with those queens there at the front, just simply taking the hits. That was a beautiful, phenomenal play there by Ziggy. I like that. Or by Fmtc rather.
Just to survive. Like, I think it was like 3 full volleys, and that's
I love that.
just enough to break through. Because if maybe even one of those volleys hit the Hydras and the Lynx earlier,
oh yeah,
that could have looked completely different.
Yeah, he was scouting as well with the Overlords earlier to check the positioning of those siege tank. So he was flying one over the third base to figure out where the siege tanks were sieged up. So he was swooping in with the Hydras and Lynx from the other side of the army composition and dropped the queens where he knew the siege tanks would hit. I mean, imagine being that queen loaded into the Overlord and you're the one that's gonna take those shells. You're like, okay, girls, here we go. Time to take some damage.
That pretty terrifying, to be honest.
I mean, I believe all of them went out of the game as well, right? I think they all stayed alive.
But they died for a noble cause. It
was beautiful.
Yeah, and that does decide game number 1 there. But the next map is Odyssey.
I like it.
Another good map for FMTC, right? Well, I don't think Ascension to Ira is that good of a map for Zerg, but Odyssey definitely is.
There's this beautiful gold base that usually is going to be creeped up all over the place very early on as well. Obviously, if FMTC decides to go for something along those lines. I'll be honest, like I've seen him play a couple of times before, but this is the first day where I'm truly paying attention to FMTC. I'm liking what I'm seeing. These strategies are really cool. He's been pulling rapids out of a hat for a while.
He's a very unique player in terms of he has unique strategies, but he has the execution to pull them off.
Exactly.
And sometimes it's a little cheeky, a little cheesy even. I think he beat Hearthstone. I heard him over. I only watched one game, but he did him with a proxy hatch. So yeah, funky stuff.
Alrighty, so here we go. Spawning in game number 2 in the bottom right-hand corner of the map. Playing with the Zerg drones, we have none other than FMTC. Yeah, I'm hearing some claps out of the audience. I don't know if you can hear that on stream, but they're there. Promise.
And in the top left corner, hailing from Poland, facing elimination right now, the Blue Terran, Ziggy.
I wonder how he feels after that game. Because
probably.
He plays, honestly, he played the most orthodox style you can. There was like nothing weird about that game whatsoever.
And it got countered by just dropping queens in the right location.
I mean, I'm looking forward to going home and just trying out that queen drop shenanigans. That was really cool.
I honestly can simply say that's something you pretty much don't really see that often. Like, actually, like, putting the drop at a specific location to bait tank shots. And yeah, that is an interesting thing that you just point out with your finger there. It's 2 barracks. I mean, yeah, I don't think Ziggy wants to put up with more queen drops.
He does already have a gas geyser right now in the main base taken as well, so he's going to be able to start bumping out those Reapers. Not quite having the third barracks going up just yet, so he's probably just going to try and commit here with a little bit of damage in the earlier part of the game. Also putting down the depots as part of his wall. So he's likely going to be expanding after this. Oh no, never mind. Oh, that is so cheeky. See, so if I would look at that as a Zerg, I would be like, hey, there's only 2 barracks. He's going to try and pressure me and then expand. Instead, he's putting 2 in the wall and then a third one in the main base, even though this one could also be part of the wall.
Yep. Yeah, that could be really, really, really deceiving, honestly. I think in the games versus Agaham as well, what he did was he made 3 barracks in the wall, and then he made another 3 in the main, and then he just won the game.
So it's like 6 barracks?
Yes, 6 barracks, 4 gas Reaper massing. And it worked.
Oh, I actually saw that game.
Yeah, but did we cast that?
No, we did not.
You saw it on the...
Yeah, I saw it on the screen.
That was so strange because you don't really see that happening anyway. But yeah, I think a 3 Rex Reaper is already unorthodox. FMTC now scouting it.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, he immediately throws up a 3rd hatchery.
Yeah, and I like that. So there's a couple responses, right? Initially, like way back, a couple months back when Reapers were really, really popular.
It's a long time in StarCraft time.
Yeah, it's a long time in StarCraft time. But you can deal with this in a couple ways. It's safer to deal with it in roaches, but you'll be contained for a long time. But you can also get that 3rd hatch, get the extra larva, and just spam speedlings. Yeah. Hope you get a really nice round. If you get one really nice round, the game's over, right?
Exactly. That's kind of the point, right? Like, you can also do a lot better without queen injects. So he's actually not trying to go for the additional queens right now, instead just pumping out those links like you were talking about. Link speed is about 10 or so seconds from finishing right now, so that does mean that FMTC will have an easier time. The command center in the meantime, though, is going down already on the other side of the map, and the links are actually going to try and move around it.
And another barracks comes up.
Oh man,
It's
are we
just
gonna
starting to
see
look like that
this-
game, man.
Oh, are we gonna see 6 Rex? Oh god. Oh man, you
Goosebumps.
predicted it.
Yeah, I mean, the third CC came really, really late in that game as well. And yeah, I mean, so far it's looking exactly like that the first time we saw that from Ziggy.
He's gonna need that base though. That third base is really important here at this point in the game.
Absolutely.
Apparently the Reaper right there does get rallied in the right direction as well. No gas is taken in the natural just yet. Of course, Reapers are 50 gas and 50 minerals each. He does force a couple of the SCVs off the line, trying to get us around on the other side of the map as well. But so far, Ziggy's Reapers are not getting themselves caught in that position.
Slowly but surely, FTC will be losing his hatchery, and I think it's going to be the last shot in like just a moment here. Queens and Lynx trying really hard to defend, but it just takes one Reaper to sacrifice their life.
He's trying to force the overextension right here. More and more Lynx are coming in. There's no follow-up planned right now just yet here for the Zerg player. Apparently, though, that third base does go down. Lynx actually now dropped off in the main base as well, but beautiful micro here on 2 fronts by the Terran player in blue.
And we are up to 4 Reaper production. I think once those gases in the natural get taken, he's going to be able to produce 5 or 6 at a time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to see some of that stuff that we saw in the game versus Agaham as well. I mean, this is really hard to deal with because this is another really unorthodox thing, right? For
one hero Zergling.
Yeah, he's going to do it.
Here we go.
He's going to do it.
Oh,
well,
no.
He's going to wait. He's going to wait.
Well,
that's one thing. Ziggo Ziggo is an internet provider in Holland, guys. But Ziggy cannot shoot up at all with nothing. So these Lings are safe and sound in those overlords. Obviously, they have to stay there. They can't do much from there. But still, he's not producing any Marines. Not going to go for stim packs or anything. He doesn't want to transition out of this at all. Another barracks gets added on. And just Reapers and SCVs from the here on out.
I'm actually kind of curious what the correct response right now is from Fmtc. Do you build up to, for example, Spire, or is that going to take too long? It's probably going to take a little bit too long. I think his best option is to try and spread as much creep as possible so he does not get surrounded easily. But these mines are essentially infinite right now. They're just simply cooldown based. For those of you unfamiliar, they're cooldown based so you can just simply sprinkle them around, or you can spam them if you like to. But if you sprinkle them, you're obviously going to get those cooldowns reset ASAP. And we even see a is this really? Is he going to go for double engineering bay as a follow-up? Will he be upgrading Reapers?
Well, I think he's going to transition out eventually, but I'm not sure.
I mean, he's making six Reapers at once.
And he's mining from 4 gas.
He's not making a lot of SCVs here either. Plus 1 armor, actually, from the Zerg. I quite like that. You can go double upgrades as well to try and deal with this.
I really, really do like that. But he does still need that a phenomenal engagement, whether he gets that armor or not. And the third base is now up again for Fmtc, so he's going to start trying to drone that. But these Reapers are now on the other side of the map, and they're still very, very agile, even though there is more creep now. 6 Reapers are still being produced. I'm just so confused right now.
This is one of those things, right? And that's probably what Ziggy is looking for. What exactly is the correct response? Because Ziggy is not really committing here either, right? He could be going up against a lot of little Zerg units here and just simply get surrounded.
So if you can get to a good 2.5, 3 base economy, you can get
middle line as well for the Terran in the main, by the way. There's a drop going down right now for the Zerg. He's going to try and eat a couple of those SCVs, and this is a very important little bit of aggression. 7 SCVs in just a matter of seconds, 8 even.
Yeah, and that's actually a bigger deal than you would think, because he's now down to 35 workers, and this is a lot of Reapers though. This Turkey's going to go down in any seconds. Like, there's nothing to defend here for FMTC either, because he needs a major surround. He wants to do anything here with just Lings. 38 more Lings are on the way though. He wants to do this with Lings versus Reapers. I'm not sure if I like this mono battle right now.
Yeah, it's almost like both players are playing a mono battle. One only can make Reapers, the other one can only make Zerglings apparently, and the third base does fall. Interestingly enough, we now finally see that transition here from the Terran player. Apparently, he's done the damage that he was looking for. He's contained the Zerg player efficiently. And right now, Zerg can't even engage. Plus 1 attack is done, but these Reapers are about to get 1-1 upgrades. I don't even know how these upgrades work out. I don't think you can even surround that. No, there's no way. Well, apparently they wanted to fly, but...
I believe I can fly.
I mean, they've got jetpacks on their backs.
Hydralisk den on the way for FMTC. I like that. If you have enough,
if you have enough economy, but
yeah, exactly. But if you have enough link buffer, the Hydras can wreck these Reapers as long as they're on creep. Usually, there's Reapers on both sides now. These Lings need to get out of there, and they do. But I mean, like, yeah, you can run around as much as you want, but that's a lot of Reapers, Loco.
The jetpack raiders are rolling out. Do you think Reapers should be able to fly with their jetpacks?
I mean, they kind of do. They kind of float.
They do that in the co-op version of StarCraft 2, actually. With Han and Horner, you can make your Reapers fly.
Oh, wow,
They're really good against air units.
Oh. No. That's cool.
Either way, though, I think this is going to be a little bit tricky. We do actually, whoa, we do have to see these units being repaired. There we go. I was going to say, those buildings falling would be a very big deal. Reapers once again forced back home as well. Stimpec is now being researched. Luckily for FMTC, Reapers do not get use of Stimpec.
Oh, that would be really, really bad news.
Imagine that. That would be awesome.
Oh my god.
For StarCraft 3.
And then they can fly.
Yeah. If you stim them, they can fly. That would be incredible.
But if they don't land before the stim pack runs out, they die.
That would be kind of bad.
That would be a cool trade-off.
Yeah.
Anyway, the third base is
dark
going to get canceled for the third time now. And okay, so FMTC is relying on a bunch of links and Hydras right now. I mean, Reapers get progressively worse as the game goes on, right? Because better units come out. But if there's no links to really do anything here, these Hydras are going to melt. As you said, Hydras have no health, and that's exactly what's going on right now. The links aren't even close. All their Hydras dead. This is all FMTC's army right now.
Remember when I said I really wanted to play on the ladder and try out that new Zerg strategy?
Uh-huh.
I'm a little worried I'm going to be facing against Mass Reaper, because this seems a little bit tricky. As FMTC, rather, is forced to GG out of the game, and Ziggy, he doesn't care. He doesn't even get bothered by that.
Wow. That was an interesting game number 2. I think we've seen 2 fairly, I don't want to say new because Reapers aren't really new, I guess, but fairly unorthodox strategies in both games so far. So I'm looking forward to game number 3. Game number 3 is going to be Blackpink.
Alrighty. Blackpink definitely one of the most straightforward maps right now, one of the most macro-focused maps in the map pool. Definitely not all too much variety on there, generally speaking. You can still go ahead and cheese as well if you like to. But for the most part, I have to say I like this one, in particular for a game number 3, where game 1 and 2 were a little bit wonky. I wonder if this phases FMTC whatsoever, though. I mean, he did what he thought was right against Mass Reaper, right? And normally we see Terran players play Mass Reaper. They will be able to get like maybe 6, maybe 7, maybe 8 or so Reapers out, and eventually they're going to transition towards Bio. He just kept making Reapers and apparently won.
That was so...
It's kind of odd, right, when you think about it, but it was really powerful.
Wait, what if I hold this button down?
What if I play a mono battle? And it apparently worked out.
Yeah, well, FMTC lost because he deviated from the plan. He made Hydras. Should have kept making links.
He should have just kept making links and plus my melee as well.
No, but at a certain point, what happens, right, Lings just cannot compete with, if you have a critical mass of Reapers, you just can't do anything with the Lings. Your surround would need to be so big, you're going to lose so many Lings before you can actually get that surround. And not to mention the millions of grenades you can throw around. So, yeah,
it's a little bit scary.
It's a little bit scary. But Blackpink is the map that we just saw Ziggy play a 40-minute game, almost, against Agahama on earlier today.
I saw you guys casting that epic game.
Yeah, that was a long
game. I
thought
thought Brute Lords were mentioned a couple of times.
Brood Lords? What are those? Maybe you should ask Agam. I don't think he knows.
We'll see if those are going to be coming into play in this particular match, as we are indeed loading into Blackpink. It's actually a K-pop group. Did you know that?
I don't want to know that.
Wow. All right, fine. No more fun facts with Loco.
It's an AVEX map, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, AVEX did make this map.
I really like AVEX's maps in terms of aesthetics and names. I think he has a good feel for that stuff. But now Blackpink kind of disappointed. I thought it was an original, like...
Anyway, spawning here in Game 3 in this Best of 3 series. In the top right-hand corner of Blackpink Alley, playing with the red Zerg drones, we have FMTC. That's Ziggy. That's Ziggy
Clap
right
anyway.
It's okay. It's okay. It's Ziggy.
And in the bottom left corner, the blue Terran player, he tied it up with Mass Reapers last game. Hailing from Poland, it's Ziggy. Do we get FMTC now?
I'd be okay with that. No, we don't get a camera shot at all. I'm sorry. Production is embarrassed.
They're punishing us.
We called him out, I'm sorry. Very quick spawning pool here, though, this time around from FMTC. He's not going to fall for the same shenanigans again.
No, he is not. He's playing super, super safe. Even on a map, so Odyssey makes a lot of sense to do around because it's a very, very good map for Zerg. It's quite a large map. You have that gold base. It's just very, very good for Zerg to play a macro game. So Ziggy wanted to prevent that. But Blackpink, it's not a map that you would expect to do any type of cheese on, especially Mass Reaper, I guess. Because Blackpink is a big map. You have a lot of stuff going on here. And it's just very hard to break your opponent in general.
I really like it, actually. I've been playing a lot of games with the new patch. I think Blackpink is probably my favorite map so far.
It is? Okay.
It's really good.
Is it any particular reason?
I don't know. I think it makes for a good variety of games. It's one of those maps where you can go for cheese, you can go for macro, there's a lot of counter-attack paths. Maybe it's because I love playing Zerg, although I've been playing a ton of random recently. Regardless though, I really like the map for pretty much all matchups.
Okay, just think it's a good map in
Yeah.
terms of design.
Do you think it's particularly favored for one race?
I wouldn't be able to say right off the bat. Obviously, I'm not an analyst, expert, or anything. You would have to ask Artosis or something for that. But in terms of ZVT, I think it's hard to take your third early on because the Reaper can get to third fairly easy compared to the drone. That's the only disadvantage I can think of as a Zerg player. I don't. It's very wide. It really depends on your playstyle too.
Ziggy now committing an SCV into the main base right there of the Zerg player.
Yeah,
Will
was
he
it?
confirm that there is no bailing nest up just yet? That's a rather big tell, because obviously if there's a bailing nest going down already, you're gonna have to respond to that. Could have been a really important scout this time around though. I think Ziggy must be happy with the fact that nothing cheeky is coming his way just yet. Although there are a lot of Zerglings currently on the production tab, they will arrive on the other side of the map, you know, way after that command center has finished up.
Yeah.
What exactly do you think he's planning to do with all these links? Is he just simply, is he gonna drop them? Is he?
I'm not sure. This is so. Yeah, usually when you go pool before hatch, right, you can get something done with the links, but especially this map being so big and planting down to CC fairly early, like normally you would try to get something done, right? But I don't imagine something can be done here, especially with the Hellion there, the Reaper, and a couple of Marines. It's gonna be really, really tough. He does have a bunch of links, not just 6,
Yeah,
but
he made
more
a
than
lot.
that. And he's made
Oh, man.
even more. If the link get in, that could be pretty painful. And right now they're on the ramp. SCV's blocking them, but he's getting 3 kills. And actually the Reaper goes down, the Hellion goes down, all the Marines. He could kill some SCVs with this more.
This
Actually,
is such a cheeky move. I mean, it isn't even that big of a commitment. In the meantime, we just see Zerg following this up with a lot of drones. He just committed some early game larva, but worker-wise, it's already 32 drones, or 31 drones right now versus 19 SCVs. Mules are good, but not quite that good.
No, and not in these small numbers, because he's not going to have that many off of 2 CCs. So right now, I think Fmtc definitely leading the game, even if it's just kind of a mental lead as well as a small lead in terms of, obviously, you can't mine from your natural, and he did lose a couple of Marines and Hellions, which does not. I mean, it hurts Ziggy a little bit, right? Ever so slightly.
Quick lair going in right now as well here
Oh, yeah.
for FMTC. I wonder if he's planning to switch towards any kind of... is that double gas as well in the natural? Could we have a quick little shot
One,
of his
I
natural?
think one. Only in the main.
The
right?
natural of the Zerg player.
Oh, is it? Wait, what?
I think that's... Yeah, look.
He's
gonna
only
go.
mining from 1, though.
Interesting. He may just be barely saturating them. I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to see some very quick either Ravager play, but more than likely a Spire as well. We'll just have to wait a second until that lair finishes up.
Going Agraham style, I like it. You know, he is making the Roach Warren, but I'm not sure if he's going to do something with it. There's no evolution chambers out on the map yet, which you would expect, right?
It's got
around
a lot of
lair
gas.
timing.
You
And
don't normally get this much gas. Like, normally players
Yeah.
get maybe 1 or 2 gases saturated.
Oh.
He's going to go for it. Be quiet. It's a Nidus Worm. I don't know if they can hear us.
I hope not.
I hope not.
That would be kind of...
Widowmap and Marine, or Widowmine drop right here, as well as the Marines inside of the main base. They're going to be able to be a little bit of a nuisance.
That Nidus did get dropped in the natural, right? So that means
Yes.
Ziggy's not going to be able to see this with this drop unless he decides to go into the natural. Queens are going to shut this down for now, though. 3 Queens definitely will be enough for that. And the Nidus is actually almost done, but there's a bunch of Hellions in the third. They don't see any drones. That should be a tell.
Yeah, there's roaches coming in right now, although obviously Ziggy may not be able to pick up immediately what it is. He may be able to tell right now that something is not quite right. A couple of Zerglings moving across the map as well. Nidus Worm, however, is now finished up. The network is going to be able to go down inside of that main base, and I think that he's planning to do exactly that, as we do indeed get that notification right there on the minimap that the Nidus Worm is coming in. This is completely unscouted. There's going to be Queens and Roaches. They're very good.
And he's going to make a lot... He has to keep enough at home. Yeah, but that's too late, I think. SCVs are just not going to be able to cancel that, especially with Queens with Transfuse coming out first. And I'm not sure if FTC's keeping Roaches at home, but so far he's bringing quite a lot with him, and he's going to kill that Liberator before the second Queen dive, which is very good for him. 2 Queens still alive with 1 Transfuse, almost 1 Transfuse left. And now these Roaches kind of got full control over the main here.
Third hatchery did end up dying for the Zerg player, so no real follow-up here for the Zerg player in red. But yeah, now this is still going to be a pretty good scenario for him to be in, but there's a lot of scary units here for the Terran player as well, and there's really not that much Zerg.
There is not, but there's a bunch of Roaches in the Nidus, and he still needs to unload, and I don't think he has yet. No, there we go.
Oh,
Roaches that had to defend earlier,
You're
so
right.
that is more and more Roaches now. And the Liberation Zone really does help right now, but But if the Queens focus fire it correctly...
I actually really like this though. Ziggy is making the most out of the units that he's got, still getting a lot of value out of these armies, but he is indeed slowly dwindling as far as the supply counts go. We do see indeed the Roaches and the Ravages continuously dealing with all of those units. Another one of those Biles will get landed as well, and while the Nidus Worm does end up dying there, eventually FMTC is very far ahead in supply counts, and only a handful of army supply remains here for the Zerg player, or for the Terran player.
Oh yeah, and he's as you said, I mean, he's killing so many workers now. Finally, this will probably get cleaned up. Actually, more and more links triple in, and okay, so that's probably going to be the end of it. I don't think he's going to make another Nidus, but I mean, he's killed almost. No, there we go. I mean, yeah, I guess why not, right? There's not even enough workers to surround it at this point.
No, what exactly do you have to stop it right now? He's just going to continuously rally more units in. Now he's going to eventually follow this up with a couple of a couple of drones as well, but apparently
FMTC just
Ziggy did not enjoy that as much as we did.
Oh. Can we see the handshake on stream?
I don't know. That is FMTC right there, winning this series and moving on to the semifinals. No GG there when Ziggy left that game.
That
apparently,
was
he's just gonna have a little bit of a chat right there with Euthermal and Optimus. Ziggy though, apparently not happy with that situation.
Not today.
A little bit of StarCraft drama happens.
Reddit, get on it. No, but FMTC, man, that does. I think that's the definition of eking it out.
Yeah, that was a very, very close call.
That was
if the defense was just a tiny little bit better, right? I think he would have been barely able to hold on because he lost a couple of the Cyclones and all that. Like Cyclones are so valuable.
Exactly, and then in the end losing. So it looked like he stabilized off of like 25 SCVs, and he lost a bunch more. And this guy's happy.
I see the smile. It's like a smile from ear to ear right now. Mr. FMTC, how are you doing?
Do I have to duck? Yeah.
You may very well have to.
I'll just sit
We actually have a chair as well, but you can sit like that if you want to.
I'll just grab the chair. Give me a second.
Okay.
All right. There we go. Perfect.
There we go. That was insane. The entire best of 3 was so weird.
So
I mean,
let's get started right now with game number 1, right? I just wanted to ask you about that queen drop. Is that something you've been practicing for a while, or?
well, I haven't done it that often, but I know it's a really good all-in. Like people call it the impact all-in. You just go up to Hydra Bane and you drop the 4 Creep Queens that you have to draw tank fire, and you keep transfusing. So they, if he doesn't refire, like retarget actually, which I'm not sure if a lot of Terrans do, but then the Queens are gonna soak so much damage that usually if you do the build really crisp, you can hit with like. If there's only 4 or 6 tanks, if they open double Thor, which I don't think he did, but it worked out, so I'm really happy.
It's specifically a counter for like the double Thor play.
Well, it's still a really good all-in, I'd say. But
that's actually really cool.
People say that if the Terran opens double Thor, you have a good early game, then there's no way they can beat it if you do it properly. So
nice.
I was like, I have to try it. Like my early game versus mech isn't always that amazing, but I mean,
it didn't matter because the execution in the end of that, like that, in terms of his. In front of his third base, it was
that went really well. Like I was really happy with that because it's pretty easy for me at least to mess up the transfuses, and if that happens, then like everything just dies anyway. So
I think they all lived. I think all of the queens lived to tell the tale there, just barely.
That's kind of amazing.
Yep.
Now game 2 was a mass Reaper game. What did you think of that one? Did you assume that he was gonna continuously make Reapers? Because he made like 30 or so. He made a lot.
I haven't faced like Reaper since the nerf, so I was really baffled by them going. Like I just thought it was 3 Rex as well.
Exactly.
I was like, all right, I'll just make some wings, some drones, just balance it out so you can keep your third alive. But I just lost stuff over and over, and the Reaper count just kept growing. So it was like towards the end, I was like, well, this is. I was like, maybe I can just make Hydras in 2 base, but if there's that many Reapers, the grenades just render all of the units useless in the air. So it's that was
beautiful game. I liked it.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions?
I mean, that game number 3 was pretty beautiful as well, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so something we talked about just before you walked in. Initially, it looked like he was going to hold on, but from my point of view anyway, but that he lost like 20, 25 workers, right? He was down to 20 workers, and then he killed the Nidus. But then you decided, okay, well, why not just make more Niduses? And then he lost all the remaining workers, not having enough to kill denied us in the end, and I think that's it, right? Were you expecting to win right there, or was it like
I was
a do or
banking
die?
on it, but I was like, and the thing, I think he killed some of the drones that were on my gas in the main as well, so I was really gas starved, and I didn't remake my queens in time to keep injecting, so I had like 1k minerals or something that I couldn't use at all.
Yeah.
So it was kind of awkward, but I knew like even if I didn't kill him right there, because the initial wave did so much damage, I felt comfortable at least trying to take a third again and just go from there. But
yeah, it was too crippled.
I knew I had to keep going as well, because why not? Like he's pretty much dying inside of main base, so yeah.
All right.
That was good.
So your next opponent is going to be either Euthermo or Hearthstone. Do you know already who it's going to be?
I think Hearthstone.
I think it's Hearthstone, yeah.
I
Would you rather face Euthermo or? Yeah, you did end up beating him earlier.
Oh, that's an interesting rematch.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I would rather face Hearthstone because he's a Protoss. Like against the Terrans, I
you just
feel
beat
like
a Terran.
Yeah, but this was, especially in the first game as well. Like he lost the med effect to, like that was really lucky for me. This is plain luck. Like if everything didn't go my way versus the Terran, I think I would have lost pretty hard. But versus Protoss, there's some really cool all-in builds that I feel comfortable doing so.
All-in builds.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see if that's going to be something we'll be able to catch later today.
This
as
mind
well.
game, and he's going to macro the crap out of Hearthstone after this.
It's like 80 workers before anything.
We'll see.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. This is one heck of a storyline, this DSCL, kind of the underdog rising up. I mean, beating Ziggy 2-1 pretty convincingly there.
I was hoping to just not get last in the group, but this is.
I mean, you've been dominating so far very well. I mean, moving on to the semifinals right now, we will be able to see more from you in just a little bit. I believe we're going to be taking it to Frank next, unless you have any kind of questions.
I think so, yeah. Not really.
All right, we'll see you guys right after this.